Hi, I'm Ross from Coombe Property Accountants in Hamilton. We're a firm who specialise in property investment. So basically, I live and breathe property every day. I talk to people about it all day. I write on forums a lot, and I look around properties myself. So around 80–90% of our clients are property related. A lot of them are just normal property investors who own 1 or 2 properties. We've got some larger investors. We do work for builders, developers and traders. Quite a few tradespeople, so builders, plumbers, plasterers, and also quite a few commercial owners. And the last amount, it's probably the 10 or 20% that's missing up here are business owners. But generally they come to us because they own property as well. So we help match the two together, business and property. And often the money you make in business, people then invest in property to make more equity and more wealth. I also invest in property myself. So in the past, I've played around with trading properties. I found it a lot of fun, but a bit too time consuming for me, and I never really made the profit I probably needed to make it worthwhile. We've got residential properties that we hold long term, we've got commercial properties that we hold long term, and we're just looking at a trading property opportunity that's come up at the moment that we're currently looking at. So I'm also proud to be on the Waikato Property Investors Association, and I've been on the committee for probably about a year, but I've been a member of Waikato Property Investors for about the last 10 years. It's also our 10-year anniversary of Coombe, so on the 31st of March 2014 we would have been operating for 10 years. So the reason most people use us for property accounting is for tips and tricks and the little things that we know about property, just by doing it every day and really concentrating on that. So here's a couple of examples. One is an old accountant returned GST on residential rental income. So these are for property traders, people who buy a property with the intention of selling it for profit. So they claim GST and they have to pay GST at the end. So the old accountant's done this completely wrong. We've adjusted it to what case law is. An example, last year we saved a person $50,000 plus. It was actually a little bit more than that, and we received this as a GST refund from IRD. So this client was actually in trouble. He was getting further and further behind with IRD and owing this GST. We actually got rid of all his arrears and got him a good refund as well. Example that we've done just last month was the same thing. Old accountant had returned GST on residential income. We've gone to IRD and got that reassessed and fixed up, and the client should receive $28,000. They've got the majority of this at the moment, and we're just working on the final bits. So yeah, there's a huge difference in knowing the law properly and applying that for property traders in this case. It's also amazing how many accountants miss the little tips and tricks. Just those little things can make all the difference. Often with property, you're looking at one big item that you're buying, and you're also looking at 2 or 3 major expenses. So it's about doing it right. There's also some that are overclaimed. Other accountants are claiming repairs or interest deductions when you're not really entitled to. And that might seem great at the start, but when the IRD find it and they come back with large interest, come back with penalties and tax to pay, it's not so much fun. So what we try and do with the IRD is we're aggressive. We'll push something if it's worth pushing, but we're not stupid either. We want to sleep well at night, and we want you to sleep well at night. So it's about doing it correctly and honestly, but legally maximising your tax deductions. So overall, what we're trying to do with clients is help you improve your equity and your wealth long term, and also maximise your tax deductions legally. So if you are interested in having a chat with me, we're based in Hamilton, but we have clients around New Zealand and overseas. We can meet people obviously in the Waikato or Auckland or Tauranga. We also do Skype calls with a lot of investors around New Zealand, so that can be a good way if you can actually see me face to face and we can get information through. Plus with phone calls, emails, it's getting easier and easier, to be honest. So a couple of options that we give, which you might be interested in, is we do a free initial phone call, so just a chat for 10 or 15 minutes, and we've got a link on our website about how you can do that. Or we have a free initial meeting that normally goes for about an hour. Basically in that time we give full advice that is possible, and we can generally solve your structure problems or help you work out what you're investing in, how to structure your loans, what some of the tax deductions are and how it all works. And that's for $245 including GST. So you can either email me through to my email address, ross@cswaikato.co.nz, or go onto our website, www.cswaikato.co.nz, and then there's links onto there and forms on there where you can click and receive any of those options that you might be interested in. Just a few added things just to bear in mind if you're choosing an accountant. Obviously, if you're looking at property, make sure it's a property accountant. So the main thing with that is click on their website and see if it's predominantly that they just do property. That's the easiest way to know if they're a property expert. If they say farming and auditing and business, you know that they're not really focusing on your needs. Also, being a chartered accountant can be a big thing. We have compulsory ongoing education, just means that we're up to the play with changes as they come through. It also means that we've got training and qualifications. I've got a degree, I've been through other training and other education to become a chartered accountant, and I've also got experience. So Coombe Smith has been going 10 years, and I've also worked for other accounting firms before that. Other things to consider if you're looking for an accountant is I generally like a medium-sized firm. If you look at the really big-sized firms, especially ones up in Auckland, you'll probably find your prices are too high, and you sort of get dealt with by the small individual, the small junior for the firm who's just come along, it's their first year, they're doing the simple little rental clients. Whereas for us being a medium-sized client, you're our ideal client, you're exactly who we want to get on, so we concentrate on you and we try and help you along the way. The other thing is, if I'm sick, there's other people you can ask and get information from, and we've actually got another CA as a part owner who would be available in a worst case if something happened to me. So rather than going with a small one-man band where you've got one person, they go on holiday or sick and it's hard to get hold of, the medium-sized firm just gives you a little bit more. A couple of discounts that we've got, or an option that we have, and this is available on our website. We have an annual Property Investors Special that you can sign up to. Basically, you get a short meeting for about 30 minutes. You can ask as many emails and questions over the phone in the next 12 months as you want to, and that's all included in a package for 300 plus GST. So it's under new to property under our website. Another thing that we do is if we're doing your annual financial statements and tax returns, you don't have to wait until the end to see how big the bill is and how scared you should be. We basically give you a quote up front, so we receive in your records, we review them, we give you a quote so you know exactly what it'll cost, and normally we spread the payments to make it slightly easier as well. So have a look on our website, make sure you sign up to our newsletter to get tips and tricks about properties, and on the website click through to the link about this to sign up for this deal. Thank you.